Good morning. How is everybody? I hope wherever you are in the world, you've got the most glorious sunshine because it's beautiful here in Brighton, and it finally feels like, well, dare we say it, summer's arrived. But I think we deserve this sunshine. It just lifts everything, makes us feel better, makes the days seem happier, and let's face it, we've been through one hell of a journey, haven't we? When we look back at when we look back at this past year, and you think where we started and the fights that we have had to maintain our own hearts, to just carry on smiling. It's incredible. It just is. And I think if anything, this year shows us how incredibly strong we are. We are more powerful as people than we could ever imagine. And some people have mentioned they've considered this time to be sort of the Third World War. And when I look back to the stories that my mum, hello Lorraine, it's lovely to see you. Happy New Moon to you too. But when I look back at the stories that my mum told me about her growing up in the Second World War, and it feels similar. Yes, the situations were different, but there is a similar sort of vein of heaviness and trying to carry on each day and pick ourselves up. It's that same energies around. But just as the Second World War ended, this war is ending, and it's a war. This war is more about fighting ourselves. We've been fighting the darkness in ourselves. We've been fighting our desires, what we truly want, and trying to dig our way through to find the joy that actually sits inside of us. And it is there. There's immense joy. And it is time to come out of these, I'm being shown these sort of tunnels that we've gone through, the dark night of the soul tunnels. And finally we're emerging out into the sunlight. And for some, it's too bright. They think, oh my God, I can't cope with this. And others are still caught in the mindset of being in this tunnel. So there's so much going on. And this wonderful, wonderful new moon in Virgo, I read a headline that said it was the luckiest new moon of the year. And I thought that's what we need. We need a little bit of luck now. We need some joy to come in. And I'm delighted that this has arrived before we head into autumn and winter. It's the only moon in Virgo this year. And Virgo is a very interesting sign. They talk about it as being the sign of perfection and everything's got to be just so. But that really puts a limit on who we are. Because if we just look at signs very one-sided, this is all it is. So what's the other side of Virgo? Well, the other side of trying to be perfect is actually wanting to be the best of ourselves, wanting to raise our spirits up, to reach higher. And that's a beautiful thing to do. So yeah, there's Virgo, this wonderful, wonderful, positive sign. And it also rules the stomach. And this new moon is about us clearing out the old, which is obviously what our stomach do, the organ of elimination. Now, what we've been pushed to do with all these I've lost the word, with all these astrological events, not equinoxes, mind is still not here, but what we've been asked to do is to really have a look deeply inside of ourselves and try and figure out who we are and what it is that we want going forward. And it's been really rough because you've been asked to go and dig deep and go into the back of every cupboard in your house and just start seeing what's in there. Oh my God, there's a lot of junk in there. And now this Virgo full moon comes in and says, just throw it all out. We don't need it. New moons are always times of new beginning. And this Virgo moon, even more. it is just saying the old is done. Now is a time to start again, and not to build on what was, but actually to build totally anew. You know, when they archaeological sites and they look through them and you think, goodness me, look how the Romans built on the Greeks and the Greeks built on the Egyptians. And I'm making this stuff up because archaeology is not my strong point. But you know, you have one layer built on top of another on top of another, and they had gods and goddesses that were repurposed for their own, you know, for their own selfish needs. You know, so the beautiful goddesses that we had, they were turned into man-hating evil witches. So nothing was ever started new. It was just a repurposing, a stealing from others. And this new moon, it feels like we're turning around and saying to ourselves, actually, what do I want? If I just stop and I speak solely to myself, not being influenced by anybody else, not asking someone else, what should I do? But actually listening, as you pointed out, Lorraine, listening to the joy in your heart and saying what is it that I truly want without influence. And that's a really, really hard question to ask ourselves, because when was the last time we were actually asked that? You know, I can remember going back to sort of birthday parties and someone saying, what do you want for your birthday? And me having a think about it, what do I want for my birthday? And the next thing you know, somebody's come in and organised it for me with the assumption that that's what I want. So I took it on as being the thing that I wanted, when it wasn't necessarily. So now's the time to step out from what society expects, from what the world expects of you, and to just start being yourself. And I think what would happen if we can do this is we'll get this incredible rising of creativity, because when each one of us starts listening, really listening in here as to who we are and what we want, this unique and beautiful energy is going to start coming up. And there have been people like that through our history. You know, when you come across a musician or an artist, somebody who's stood out and broken a boundary and said, well, this has never been done before. And we go, wow, how did they come up? It must be divinely inspired, as if they are the only ones who can be divinely inspired. But we all have this ability. We are all divinely inspired. And it's just about opening that doorway to this incredible creativity that we've got, and letting it flow out. Now, I'm sitting here and I'm trusting. Normally I do some research and think, what's this full moon or new moon about? And today I'm just going, I'm going to go with what I feel. That is connecting into my own creativity, to my own higher self. And yeah, it's scary. You know, any artist, any musician, any time we speak light language for the first time, we're going to start thinking, oh my God, but it's not like somebody else's. But that's the point. It's not supposed to be like somebody else's. It's supposed to be yours, divinely, beautifully yours. This is the joy of life, being ourselves. And then the colours that will come up in the world. The rainbow won't just be 7 colours, it'll be billions of colours. And when the choir sings, it will be extraordinary, because every single one of us will have their own voice. Imagine that freedom. And this new moon in Virgo is coming to sweep out all that rubbish. Just let go of it. You don't need any of it. It's absolutely done. It's finished. It's time now to bring up who you are. And I've had loads and loads of unicorns around me recently, all just piling in and saying, sparkles, let the sparkles know. And behind me, there's that picture. I can't do it, wrong way, up there. And so many people look at that picture and they just see this world opening up, which is the lotus, and just releasing all these sparkles, all these seeds of creativity. And every single one of us is a little light like that. And we're just going to blossom and come up into the world and be unique, because every single light is absolutely individual. So, as I say, the unicorns have been around absolutely loads. And the first card they gave me was just listen. You know, just listen to yourself. Listen to what your heart tells you, to what's really inside of you, to what brings you joy, nothing else. Hi Cheryl, it's lovely to have you here. And then I pulled some unicorn cards, and they were lovely. So the first one that came up was laughter. I wrote down recently in my notes, laughter stops the dark from getting a foothold. It stops it from coming in. It just closes the door to it. And, you know, when we see something, I don't know if you ever see it, you know, you come across something that's really creative, it just makes you laugh. That's great. You know, if you're laughing at something that someone's created, they probably did it because they wanted to bring joy to the world. They don't mind people getting a reaction. You know, if I do something, if I'm out there dancing at it, you know, really crazily and people are laughing at me, it's fantastic because I've done it in order to bring joy, in order to make people laugh, because it raises their energy. It brings up just the most beautiful, beautiful feelings. So laugh. Laugh at whatever you want to laugh at. Laughter is real. Laughter is not mean. Real laughter isn't horrible. It doesn't make people feel down. Real laughter is infectious and it brings so much joy to others. So yeah, let's get laughing. Secondly, we have forgive. Oh, we're still on the journey to forgiveness, aren't we? We are still at the point where we're sitting there and saying, oh, it was my fault. I shouldn't have done this. And it's always me who needs forgiveness because I'm always the one who attacks myself. I can cope with other people having a go at me. That's fine. I don't carry that for the rest of my life. But me, when I attack me, that is what really, really hurts. So it's time for us to start forgiving ourselves for not knowing who we were. You know, for not knowing that we couldn't, you know, do what we wanted because we'd been trained, we'd been told that we couldn't do what we wanted. So deal with yourself much kinder. Be kind to yourself. Speak kinder words to yourself. And recognise that you were always doing exactly what you could. As my brother-in-law once said to me, he said, have you checked the oil in your car? I said, no. And he had a real go at me. And he said, why didn't you? And I said, because no one ever told me to. And he went, oh, that's okay. See, we can attack ourselves over the most ridiculous things. So let's end that. Let's put that to bed. In this new start, this new sweep out the old, sweep out the self-attacking, sweep out the self-hatred, and start saying, I forgive myself for ever having thought I was horrible. And the third card is very soon. What you're asking for will happen very soon. Basically, it's saying that joy, you can make the choice to bring joy into your life, not very soon, because that's still far away, but you can make that choice to bring that in now. Right now, you can do that. You can sit here and you can say to yourself, I choose to make my life joyful and bright and full of love. And you may fall down, and then you just stand back up again and you make that choice again. Life is a series of choices. We are constantly making choices. So constantly make a choice that brings you happiness. And if things don't bring you happiness, don't bring them into your life. There's one door. There's only one door into your life. Are you going to cram it full and have that door jammed full of things that don't bring you joy, that don't make you happy? Or are you going to push that stuff away and just bring in all the stuff that brings you joy? It's our choice. And I know which choice I'm making. I'm going to embrace this energy of the new moon, and that is the choice that I'm going to allow into my life. So, as you know, I choose a couple of crystals every time we speak some light language, and this time I felt very drawn to have Aqua Lemuria. Lemuria, of course, was a place of beauty and joy and peace. And whilst we won't be recreating Lemuria because we're going somewhere different, it is that energy of peace and love and community that we want to bring in. And the other one is lapis lazuli, a beautiful stone of calmness. It also relates to Virgo. So it's these two that I'm going to allow to influence the light language as it comes through. So I want you to now make a choice. And the choice is to allow this language to flow through you, to wash over you, to wash away anything that you don't want, to just release. So you're going to sit back, close your eyes if you wish, and just take a couple of beautiful breaths in. Just allow the breath to come in through your nose, passing down through your throat and into your heart. And as you breathe out, release. Be aware that as you breathe out, you are releasing the old. You are letting go old, stale air, all the energy that we don't need. And as you take another breath in, allow the energy of the new moon to come deeply, deeply into your body. And again, as you breathe out, release the old. Release what no longer serves you. Release what is no longer joyful. Musayana kamerata. Mushani marashwa siate. Esik morani maravasha esitro kodarnia. Aikijania maravakatoase. Puja zemiana marakadoroshis mekatarashis ketaishiske. Usheja mia maranamoroto kuruse. Uturkurushe marasha. Eshimia zwerana niamarota pakadoroshis miatorkoma. Dedikijas, dimiata, nakiroshis miato krashe. Uzuzo moyavarana katabadikiti, tikaramanasha savayo, modo jai morana kabradarashi. Isakiana, medrikishis paturkushia. Uzavarano nimarashi, kapadarakashi, karakagora. Aradiniasi maro karabatetkisha, etoroshismia, poretorase, varana kabratashi. Zizia yomoravara karabateya, ninia jesi, kevarara karaboshi. Uashesi darakamiana, kararati karashi, nandi karosha swato, motor kaibe oratadepia, midaniara kamerasa. Just open your heart to the joy. Mitarajas kamarata karoshe. Ushizia domora namarati kibedaya. Isha naya moraka swata. Motaraje miarora maratukuso. Tudurkushi swidurunanya motatasia. Usuzukuda nana marakabati. Netikiniana shekebarato rashi. Shushakayani. Atabatai sekadanya masha. Dushik shayanosa. Dorashik tadasik tadasikama. Natikan your shy soda. Musakoda niebora rakashesimiana nakashia. Musoda yamukrashatsi kete. Maradaji ke yamoraji kiana karshesi kadaya. Musadaya. Isha sanya maroda barakata. Naiji zemiata. Ushesiya dokrasha mashania korashia. You are here as the most perfect, beautiful being. You were not put here to keep yourself small. You were put here to allow your divine magical light to shine. Miataragamiauroshe, Rushasakata, Aishisaki Madano, Adebiyada no Rashe, Giashe Simiaro Karasha, Matira Barakarania, Kedarania Maroshe, Suiji, Iskomeajo, Sukadaisha, Miawarasa Parotokarashe, Nashi Marazai, Kitarashe Skiano, Morasha, Siwa Shikiada, Nashikia, Neshikia, Mishaba, Danyo Morosha. Siwaraja, Ziaija, Miadarkosh, Miazwata, Krabaraka, Kakia. Mushasa Miaro, no Miara Gederishi, Sayamora, Canamara Brikija, Yajamora, Zamayamora, Takibara, Kaja, Siviado, Marakabarashi. Ajeza Yamura Nana, Kadadashi, Kaja, Samuyata, Puradesh, Sinet, Karaboratachama. Durjezimaya, Tueba Yamura. Eikarash sis mietro shakarare krakmanikatar shisaya mora da krepratikati shisimia na weshi kotarashas yanni kaprashesi washe mashi shaya mora na karare krakrishki kamua Azudorosea, Murakadabaritikishi, Jaya Moshase, Marakina Mariayawaya. Murara, Shisuaja, Madina Marashaya, Kaya Murakashaya, Maya Yanya Murakashaya, Aya Wate Marasheza. You have freedom now. You are free to be who you are. The cage door is open. All you have to do is just step out and be in the sunlight and let the sun of creativity shine down on you and inspire you. Maya no kara. Naya morshe siya te kabate keranya. Ujaiza moa niata krebanyanda anakanya marakaisha bawashi mushi siatia. Ikuriasha morania marasai. Ayatorakaya, Taya morakasha, Siwi yasha kamayo, Tarake badekia, Kakaya moroshe. Ikujasa, Maya nadasia, Maya karayanya. What they ask you to do is when we have finished here, go. Do something creative. Find pen and paper. Write your own light language. Write the symbols that call to you. Ishesia marakawarese. Mato koraradita. Maishisonia morata. Wataki para. Ayaka miara. Mito kaishisia. Mojes wadia morani marakashias. Barakia. Kaya morarada. Kaya karakana marakashaya. Muduroara siara gara gania tarkashe, Aishwaya, Makodasha seya, Muratarbekia, Eshizayana Maratarkadia. Allow your heart to lead the way. This is the way to your freedom. Maturashisia, Metoroshakeata Rakata Krakai, Moradania Marashe, Sushesi, Terabitishis, Gamiadorashenia, Ashikia, Meshe, Nasukarata, Tibarashe, Natikarashe, Suyan, Maratushis, Detikaraja, Netirakajase, Utarabari Nanyarashe. Just allow the broom of the new moon to sweep out all the old, to clean out all the old doubts, the fears, the worries, whatever has kept you from embracing who you are. Let it all go. Nati marashesi miakorasa, nati karasha, nyamo washesi bitorosha. Ushis waji, makarona nyawashi, mati karajanya morasha, sawasha, shake washika, shayamoja shashika, dusi shasha morata, but the kishis yawara, nanyoshe, nani morake, shwasa marata, rabadekia, nati berekriasha, nati berekasha, sayamorata, mudu jizaya monasa, medio shisa moniata, mushwasia, modania marashe, wishi, kikajamo, shia. You are unique, and there is nothing wrong with your uniqueness. You are absolutely who you are supposed to be in this lifetime. Go embrace it. Nyashe kadamosha kedanya makotasha siwashe makiwashe sianoraka motoroshewa shaya morana miatara kopata shesi darakarashe mushwasha kotora mosha sweti mayo no shesi bukora gatarakeja nyahwe kudurushismu kudurushismuka tima shikanya toroshe soda da yemenaka yeshi sabotokorashas peterkoishes. And when you're ready, just take a lovely deep breath in. Allow the energy to just float into every cell. Embrace it, let it soak into your body. These are new beginnings for us. The new pathway, the new doorway is open. Make the choice, step through. It's been lovely to be with you today. And I send you all the light blessings that I can send to all of you. And I hope that your day will be beautiful and that this new moon energy will inspire you to new heights, to new creativity. Don't judge what you do, don't judge what you create. It is right for the only person that matters, and that is you. So I hope to see you all here again, and I send you so much love.